Good morning, everybody. I'm pretty fired up this morning, and we're going to do a walk and talk, and we'll talk to you like you're a friend of mine right next to me, and we're riding to work together. And because this is a motivational video, the likes of which I've probably never done before, because when I hear this kind of stuff, it really, really pisses me off. Now, I've got several things I want to talk about, but the very first one is from Todd. He's a friend of mine that reached out and wanted some help getting started welding. He's 49 years old. I want to say he was a fireman, a teacher, and he wanted to get into welding. He said, "Do you think it's a good idea?" I said, "Yes, absolutely. You want to do that? You can do it." And I actually encouraged him. That's what I want to be, as the great encourager. I really want to help you guys as best I can. And I get help from you as well. This is the community that I talk about all the time, and it bothers me when people try to discourage you. Todd, listen to this. I was talking to a local union rep today, and they told me that I was too old at 49 to start a career in welding. What are your thoughts? Well, I told him, don't listen to them. Most of them are a-holes. They tried to discourage me right out of the gate. I was 19 years old. I just bought a welding machine. No, I wasn't. I wasn't 19 then. I was just getting married. I just put it all on the line. I'm talking about selling my wife's 401k to rig out a truck, to do this. I've got to do it. And they're telling me, if you can't run this certain rod downhill, you'll never be anything. You will not be able to weld with us. You're not going to. I just hung the phone up on him. I actually just hung up on the guy. And he was a big union guy that's now out of the union. That's how a lot of these are going to start. A lot of these stories I'm going to talk to you about start with, you can't do this and you can't do that, and later on they're not doing it because they see you as they see their self. That's the problem with most people. Now, is he going to quit? No. Not because he's too old, that's for sure. It's so stupid. And just so you know, I know a guy that was a butcher until he was 50. We call him Slick Rick because he welds so good and he's so good at it. He's done very well for himself. He makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. He's probably retired now. I'm not sure if he's still retired or not. Anyway, you can do it. Don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something. And I'm going to go a few things that happened in my life, and we're going to go through the thought process of these people that can't do it themselves, so they think you can't either. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that happened with my wife, and I'm going to talk about how to make those people never forget your name. Ever. They will never forget me. Most people that have talked to me like that will never ever forget, because I burn them up with success. So I get fired up. I don't say words I shouldn't. That's something I struggle with. Okay, I just wrote down a few notes. Discouraging people in my life. It usually starts out like this. Do you know what you're doing? When I was getting to the rental property business, that's what I heard. Do you know? I sure hope you know what you're doing. What is that? Does that mean they don't know what they're doing and it scares them? Yes. Okay. Another thing. I know somebody that failed at this. When I first started welding, my father-in-law, and it's not going to bother me if he sees this video because it pissed me off. So I've got all this money out. I'm starting my welding career. He gives me this advice. I know somebody that did that and they failed. What? I looked at him and was like, yeah, well, you don't know me. And guys, just so you know, I don't get on here and brag about how much money I got. I'm not that kind of guy. But I do want you to know that I'm retired from welding at 40, and I'm an accredited investor before 40. That was my goals, and I nailed them. Okay, I have welding as something I can fall back on at any time. I talked about this yesterday with Jim, a friend of mine, and that was, something that he was trying to teach his kids how to weld because it's something they can fall back on. Anyway, the next thing was how to be the person that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. I might cover that at the end. Oh, another thing they say. After these people try to talk you out of whatever you want to do and you succeed, all right, those people fade away in the shadows. You don't really get to hear from those people again, which is a blessing. But the new people that show up after you're successful goes something like this. It must be nice. They don't know what you had to fight through. They don't know, they didn't know when you started a YouTube channel, your reading was so awful because you're dyslexic and you had to read every day to thousands of people. They don't understand that, but it must be nice, Yeah, you've got rental properties, must be nice, like it was just handed to you. That's the same attitude. That's the same small little person, try to keep this clean, that's inside of every one of us that we got to fight off every day. Learn how to be happy for somebody. It's easy to find somebody to mourn with. If you can find somebody to rejoice with, that's a true friend. A few other things that were, really bothered me in my life, that stuck with me, that gave me fuel, and I hope it gives you fuel to go and go hard, because remember, that's how you tear them up. That's how the people that are labeled most likely to succeed, and all these other people that I had a guy burn my clothes one time when I was a little kid. I hung out with an older crowd, and it kind of shaped me younger in life, and it was hard, but it made me hard. It helped me. It didn't seem like it at the time, but he's dead. And a lot of other people that I know are crackheads and the most likely to succeed guys. You don't ever know what life's gonna do. And when I guess these people that and they're intelligent, that's another thing. They're so intelligent, it's hard to see that they don't know everything. It's like impossible that they don't know everything. And when you try to explain something to them, they already know the answer. I like to call them, sorry for the crude language, educated dumbasses, because they cannot take instruction because they're so smart. What is a welder going to tell me how to do something, Well, I'm just saying. The jet boat, I built a jet boat out of a aluminum boat. I put a jet ski motor in it, and I was told it would sink. It would never run right, and they were wrong. It's awesome, actually. I'm gonna take you guys out in it, maybe today if the sun comes out, or maybe tomorrow I'll take you guys down the creek ride in the Naughty Bingle, because it worked out really good. Oh, Stacey, my beautiful wife. She was told she was gonna be a tramp. She was told if she didn't do these certain things and get married at a certain time, and if she went to college, she was going to be, if she went to college, you heard that right, she was going to be a tramp. She was raised in I'm not going to get on the church she was raised in too much, but spiritual bondage comes to mind. Everybody has to look very, very plain. And they are the most miserable, unhealthy people I've ever seen in my life. Every one of them. And she was able to break out of that, and that took some sure enough guts to do, and I respect the heck out of her for it. But she didn't, guys, my wife worked for the federal government in Washington, D.C. She ran the office up there. You don't, I tell you what, if you're a small-minded person and this is kind of getting to you, tell somebody they can't do something and watch them burn you up. Because that's what I'm going to do. Every time somebody tells me you can't do that because, I'm just going to do it. And you'll see. I'm not saying I'm always right. Sometimes I do fail. But when I do, it makes me stronger for the next thing. I didn't ask anybody if I could weld the tin on top of my woodshed that you guys see all the time, because I knew what they were going to say. You can't do that. Whatever. Okay. Oh, my elbow story. Went to the doctor. All right. So I busted a bursa sac in my elbow, or broke a bone spur or something. I was exercising and the whole gym hurt it. Pow! Went to the doctor, elbow swelled up like a goose egg. He said, oh, we have got to do surgery. We've got to do it right now. I said, no, my body will heal itself. He said, no, you'll never be able to lift again. You'll never be able to bench press or nothing. I said, I'll tell you what, go ahead and sign me up, but I'm probably not going to be there. Well, needless to say, the doctor was sharpening his knife as I was walking in the door, and he never got to see me again because there was absolutely nothing wrong with my elbow. He told me I'd never be able to do all this stuff, and I do it every day. You know, don't listen to people. They're only telling you that because they've never seen it done before. It's happened over and over. Me and the Economic Ninja were talking about it a while ago. It's incredible the people that tell us we can't do stuff, and we're constantly doing it, same as you guys. Oh yeah, I built a fryer one time. Called it Wally. It looked like Wally, and it cooked the best fish. It's a 16-inch piece of pipe that I had an internal burner in, and it leaked just a little bit because when you're welding stuff like that, you're just welding. You know, you weld it up, and if it leaks, you weld a little more. And it had one little pinhole under the thermometer, and it was leaking. And there was one guy that was so happy to see that. He was so happy to see something that I made and was so proud of leak. And he told me I couldn't weld it up to make it not leak. And I was thinking, well, you know, I know I can. I weld high pressure pipe every day, 100% X-ray, B31-3 severe. But why would somebody get so much joy from that? You know, it really kind of, when you see that, just know that's the same person that's going to say it must be nice about somebody that's got more than them and have no idea how hard they've worked for it. And the same person that's going to try to discourage you at every turn, everywhere you go, they're going to try to discourage you. And more than likely, they have a very, very small, anyway, they've got issues of their own. And this works out sometimes in the other way. I know a lot of wealthy people, extremely wealthy people, that are not very good people, that really want the worst for a lot of people. They don't want anybody else to succeed. I know a lot of people like that, and it's strange, the wealthy people that are like that. The wealthy people that'll hold their employees down just so they can make a little bit more money. They'll really push them down and treat them bad. So it kind of goes both ways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I got a few notes written down, and they're all scattered. That's enough. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. I did want to cover, Jerry reached out this morning, and he was asking about a tractor, and I don't know why I'm putting this at the end of the motivational video, but he was asking if I thought it was a good idea to purchase or finance a tractor to do work around his house, or should he just rent? He's debt-free, but he feels like this is something that can pay for itself. Jerry and anybody else that's having these thoughts, I'm not even going to say I'm not a financial advisor because this isn't financial advice. Life is too short not to have the tractor you need. If it saves your back one time, it was worth it. And usually tractors, the smaller ones especially, hold their value. I mean, you can sell the tractor. I can sell my tractor right now for about what I paid for it new. It's ridiculous how well a Kubota, that's a Kubota, they hold value really well. But other ones do too. So I would, if you're debt free and you need a tractor, giddy up. You know what I mean? All right, guys, I hope you liked the motivational video. Burn them up with success. They will never forget your name, and I want you guys to look into being accredited investors as well. There's not a lot of people that's going to tell you that, but that's something you should be capable of. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. Have an awesome, awesome day. Later.